All right, this is Miss Powder. She looks exactly like her mom, Rosie. She's got short hair. It's very fuzzy, very soft, with little gray marks, but she's also very messy. She had a great time playing in the bunny house soup today. So we're gonna go ahead and just give her a little spot clean. Again, you never want to put your bunnies in a bathtub. You don't want
put them in the bath. We know.
You don't want to get them totally soaked. If you have to clean them, you should just spot clean them. They don't like being wet.
Look at Troublemaker.
Yeah. They really do a good job of cleaning themselves most of the time. Bunnies are very clean. But due to our winter storm, we had a leak in the roof and had a little bit of a puddle in part of the bunny house that they decided to play in, and they got themselves really dirty. You can see her head is like yellow. Normally it's white. So we just wipe with a nice warm washcloth. You do not want to dunk them in water. You can consult with a vet. Jade, will you please put him down? I want them on the floor, not up there.
Once again, just putting them up there real quick.
Jade, I want him down on the floor. Yeah, that's why I asked you to keep him down on the floor. Thank you. So I'm not getting her skin wet. And normally she'd be very good at cleaning herself, but they got a little bit more dirty than they could handle. And I want to make sure that they are going to continue to groom themselves and not give up because they were so dirty. So I'll get her about 50 to 75% of the way cleaned up just by wiping her with a nice warm washcloth. And then I will let her finish grooming herself. She's almost 8 weeks old. She's just under, she's probably about 2 pounds. She's little. And she's very sweet. Little Powder is very, very sweet. So we're just going to go ahead, and you can see she's got lots of gross spots. So we're going to go ahead and do this. The reason why my daughter keeps opening the door, even though it's about 32 degrees outside and there's 4 feet of snow, is that in this little mudroom, the heater works exceptionally well. And the bunnies like their temperatures to be a little cooler. And it's getting upwards of 80 degrees in here, which is too hot for the bunnies. So my daughter is opening the door to keep them cool. And even though we are spot cleaning them and they're getting a little wet, they still don't want to be quite that hot. And of course, before we put them back out into the 50 to 40 degree bunny house, they will be 100% dry as to not get hypothermia and get sick. But we are intermittently opening the door to let some nice air in, to let them cool down a little bit. We definitely don't want it to be 80 degrees and hot in here, especially since I'm using a hot water. It gets kind of humid in here. We don't want that. Oh, Powder, you're doing such a good job, sweetie. You're so dirty. You're doing such a good job. Yeah. Good girl. This is Powder's first spot cleaning. Hopefully we won't have to do this too often. We just got a little too messy out in that bunny house, though. So when I'm done cleaning the bunnies and give them a chance to finish cleaning themselves and get dry, I'll go see what I can do about getting that bunny house, the floor, a little drier, so they don't get quite so messy over the next couple days. And then come springtime, they'll get better at it. But right now it's just so wet out there. Even though their bunny house is dry, with just enough of a puddle in the middle to just make a big mess. A big icky mess, huh? Yeah, big icky mess. You definitely want to gauge how your bunny's taking this if you do have to spot clean your bunny. because if they're getting too stressed out, you need to stop.
You really do kind of have to help them clean your bunny, because if you don't really help them clean really that much and they can't do it, then they can get something sick.
Yeah.
They can get you sick. They can get...
And you can see every time I take a pass at their fur, whether it's their feet or their back or wherever they've got it caked on, the washcloth turns yellow. It's really gross. And not only that, but it's like I love spending time with my bunnies every day. I love to hold them. We pet them, we hold them, we hang out with them. And when I went out there today and they were just so gross, that's not a happy thing for them, and it's not happy for us. You know, we hold them and they're icky, or they can't clean themselves when they're quite this disgusting. Q-Tip will be next. She's got quite a bit on her that needs to be cleaned up. These short-haired bunnies are a little easier to clean than the long-haired. And you can see they're all going to have bad hair days for a minute, but the ones that I've already cleaned are already back to being fluffy and cute, and I'll show those videos after we're done. But Powder's looking much better. We got a lot of stuff off of her. We got a lot of poop off of her. Still have a lot of dried on, caked on pee on this leg. You can see she's handling it pretty well. It's not her favorite thing, but she's handling it pretty well. It's her first time, but we've also been holding her since she was about 10 days old, and we hold her pretty much every day, so she handles this kind of thing very well. All right, Miss Jade, it's starting to cool off in here a little more than I'd like, so let's go ahead and move the bunnies and get that door closed and let it warm back up in here, because I'm about to set down a slightly damp bunny here, honey.
Well, it's closed, kind of. So the bunnies over there can go down, but all the bunnies are a lot.
See, we're just giving them a little bit of help, and then when I set them down on the floor to go back with their parents and their litter mates and everybody, they groom themselves, and it's much better. Okay. All right. Okay, so I think Powder is just about done. We got lots of icky stuff off of her. Her feet are still pretty gross, but she's over it. And we'll work on getting her a little bit more groomed later. Let me see some more stuff to pull off of her real quick. Try to pull the dry stuff off as much as possible before getting her wet. I think that was the only thing I missed. Okay.